fast approaching and snowstorms on the horizon. Protecting your plants and crops from the impending chill is more crucial than ever. Imagine waking up to find your greenhouse frozen solid after the power has been out all night. Your plants nurtured with care over months wilted and lifeless. All that effort erased in one bitterly cold night. So how can you protect your plants from winter's harshest moments? The solution lies in age-old techniques practiced by the Amish, who have mastered natural methods to keep their crops thriving without electricity, fancy gadgets, or costly heating systems. While we may be Googling the latest insulation hacks, they're busy stacking firewood and setting up ingenious, nature-powered heating systems with the simplest of materials. Let's dive into how these farmers work alongside nature to keep their greenhouses cozy, when the outside world resembles a freezer more than a field. For the Amish, the sun is the most reliable heating source they need, and they know how to harness its power without a single electric wire. With proper planning and design, they have found a way to make the sun work for them as the main heat source. Even in the coldest months, their greenhouses face the southern sky to catch maximum sunlight, a method known as passive solar heating. By positioning greenhouses this way, Amish farmers ensure sunlight floods in through the glass or plastic during the day, heating up the space as much as possible. This approach requires no machinery, no monthly bills, and has been proven to work for billions of years. It's a perfect example of simplicity and efficiency. But what about those short, gloomy winter days where daylight barely lasts as long as a coffee break? Amish greenhouse design goes beyond just direct sunlight, using materials that trap and hold heat long after the sun has set. Their greenhouses are often built from materials like clear plastic or glass, which allows sunlight to stream through and heat the plants, soil, and pots inside. As the sun's rays penetrate the greenhouse, the ground, pots, and plants begin to absorb and store heat, almost like a car parked under the sun. Once heated, these materials hold on to warmth for hours even after the sun has disappeared. This approach can reduce heating needs by up to 50%, slashing costs and keeping the greenhouse environment stable. For even more energy efficiency, the Amish take advantage of greenhouse shapes, using angled roofs and double-layered walls that capture and hold more sunlight. This design maximizes exposure, creating a sun-powered oven effect. When light is scarce, the setup still captures whatever sun does appear, squeezing every photon for maximum benefit. It's almost like they've engineered their greenhouses to wear a warm winter coat, reducing the risk of temperature drops even on the grayest days. One of the Amish's most effective natural heating tricks involves the concept of thermal mass. This method uses materials that soak up warmth during the day and release it gradually at night. When the temperatures drop, thermal mass materials like stone, water, or brick act like slow-release heating systems. Water, in particular, is an excellent thermal mass material. Big barrels of water placed inside the greenhouse can absorb an enormous amount of heat without becoming overly hot. Once the temperature cools, these barrels slowly release the stored warmth, creating a more stable environment for the plants. Even a few barrels of water can maintain a steady greenhouse temperature through chilly nights, acting like solar-powered batteries. Stones, bricks, and other dense materials also serve as valuable thermal masses. Some Amish greenhouses feature stone pathways or thick brick walls which absorb and retain warmth. These materials are more than just decorative. They're hardworking team members in keeping the temperature steady, reducing heating needs by up to 15% for every square foot of thermal mass added. The Amish select dark-colored materials, which absorb heat more efficiently, similar to why a black t-shirt feels hotter in the sun than a white one. By incorporating thermal mass, they create a self-regulating heating system that keeps the greenhouse from drastic temperature swings. For an even more natural heating source, the Amish turn to compost. If you're imagining piles of smelly, decomposing vegetables, think again. Properly managed compost piles can reach temperatures of up to 160 F, thanks to the heat generated by the decomposition process. Placing compost piles strategically around or even inside the greenhouse turns this warmth into a steady, organic heat source. The Amish balance greens like kitchen scraps and grass clippings with browns like dried leaves to create the perfect environment for decomposition, resulting in a compost pile that warms without unpleasant odors. To further fortify their greenhouses, Amish farmers use windbreaks and insulation. Trees, shrubs, and hedges planted around the greenhouse shielded from icy gusts, while also adding beauty to the landscape. Studies show that a well-placed windbreak can reduce wind speed by up to 50%, which significantly lowers heat loss. By blocking the wind, Amish farmers create a slightly warmer microclimate around the greenhouse. The next layer of defense is insulation. Straw bales packed around the base of the greenhouse form a natural insulating barrier, effectively trapping warmth inside. In choosing crops, Amish farmers know that not every plant can handle the cold, so they select hardy varieties like kale, spinach, and carrots, which are more resistant to frost. Some plants, like kale, actually become sweeter after a light frost as they convert starches into sugars. As a form of protection, by picking crops that are naturally frost-tolerant, the Amish ensure a steady winter harvest without relying on expensive heating systems. Additionally, they use cold frames and hotbeds to extend the growing season. Cold frames are essentially small greenhouses that trap sunlight and insulate the soil around plants. Hotbeds, on the other hand, use composted manure underneath the soil, releasing heat as it decomposes. Together, these methods allow the Amish to maintain warm soil and a productive greenhouse through winters. Chill. What makes the Amish greenhouse approach so unique is its sustainability. Farmers have passed down their techniques for generations, creating self-sufficient systems that work in harmony with nature. They don't rely on trends or expensive equipment, but instead focus on techniques that are reliable, affordable, and sustainable. Their greenhouses, often built with durable materials like wood and glass, are designed to last, needing minimal maintenance over the years. In a world where cutting carbon footprints is a priority, the Amish offer a valuable example of eco-friendly living. Their greenhouses run on nature's resources, sunlight, compost, and windbreaks, making their impact on the environment minimal. Their entire way of life, rooted in simplicity, efficiency, and ingenuity, is a blueprint for low-energy, sustainable living. So, as you prepare for winter, consider taking a page from the Amish. Use sunlight, thermal mass, compost, and insulation to keep your greenhouse warm naturally. Not only will you reduce costs, but you'll also embrace a low-impact approach that has been effective for centuries. With these techniques, you can keep your plants thriving, your greenhouse productive, and your winter days a bit more enjoyable. No electricity required.